Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody. This is Move Easy Yoga Online with Via. I put a picture up here where it started. This is a what not to do. If you're trying to stretch your hamstring, I'd rather see you do supine leg stretch with a strap. If you're trying, and he's definitely not coming down on a flat back hip hinge. So he's rounding his back. He's an osteoporotic compression fracture waiting to happen. Okay, let's not, otherwise, congrats to him for moving at all. Let's go ahead and start the same way that we always start. I'm going to pin Kathy, make her a spotlight. Leslie can't be here. She's working today, and I don't know about Caitlin, so I haven't seen her. There are some other people who might show up too. Let's go ahead and watch the ball. Watch your breath and notice or remind yourself of why you're here. Probably one of the reasons you're here is to de-stress. And another is to move your body. If you have a Sankalpa, a mantra that you would like to use in your practice today, go ahead and say that. If that's a short, positive phrase, I like to say, I love my body loves me. Breathing in and out. Native breath. Feeling the floor, support your back. Bring your hands behind your head and stack your hands or interlace your fingers. We're going to do a vagus nerve reset 3 times. I'm going to cue the first set, and then you can do the second and third sets on your own. So without moving anything but your eyeballs, with your eyes open or closed, shift your eyeballs to the right. And wait for a swallow, sigh, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center. Shift your eyeballs to the left. And wait for an involuntary sigh, yawn, swallow, or gulp. Come back to center. Repeat this vagus nerve reset 2 times, 2 more sets, right, left, right, left. And we're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to go directly to breath work now, and then we'll do the neck work with the sponge ball after breath work. Still, all of it's still supine. So why don't we do rib cage breathing today? And you can do the massage of the rib at the rib cage, at the bottom of the rib cage. Just make a little hook with your fingers and press on the edge of the diaphragm muscle all the way along. You can go all the way out to the edge of your rib cage and then back to the center. And that should allow a little bit more room for breath. And then rib cage breathing, just bring your hands beside your rib cage, around your rib cage, fingers towards the ceiling, thumb towards the floor, and just big inhale. Expand the rib cage in all directions, front to back, side to side. Feel the lungs fill up in the back, up at the top of the lungs. And then exhale. And repeat. I have a friend who was in the hospital this week with COVID. He's on his way home now, but I sent him, he's a yoga student. I sent him some information. I said, you know, you're a yogi, you can breathe through this. And I hope he did. He's at home, coming home today, or went home yesterday. But he was in the hospital for 4 or 5 days. One more breath. And then go ahead and find your sponge ball and put it behind your head. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead. It's like head ramping, kind of like head ramping on the sponge ball. So you're going to press your back of your skull into the wall. The chin will drop, and then you can lift your chin. So about 10 degrees backward, the chin, and then 10 degrees forward over the ball. Always pressing, feeling a little bit of pressure on the ball. The sponge ball is a really safe, stable place to do significant neck and shoulder work, cervical spine work. And while you're still here, side to side. Breathing and observing and thinking about what's happening to the cervical spine on the inside. And now try this. This is a little different. Put your ball, you may want to put a blanket, a folded blanket, or a couple of washcloths under your head. I don't know, but you want to put your ball under your chin. So sponge ball under the chin. Still supine. And it'll just be a part of it will be under the chin because it's, unless you want to take a little more air out of it. But I think this is fine. And then you're going to, you may have to hold the ball there. Well, what I want you to do is drop your chin over the ball. So nod your chin over the ball. Kathy's ball seems very large. This might be better seated. Or you might want to use a therapy ball instead, but not the little therapy ball. It would have to be the alphas. But the idea is to come up and over the ball, so you're not just going straight down. You're going out, maybe flatten the spine, flatten the cervical spine first, bring the head up along the floor, and then come over the ball. Does that make any sense? I hope so. And then tuck. And after you've tucked some number of times, then come back and then just go side to side. So I want you to practice this at home because I think it takes a little getting used to, but you can, so when you're using the sponge ball behind your neck, you can also have a practice in front of the neck. Now, if this is awkward on the floor, you could do this seated or standing. And if you have a smaller ball, you can try that too. Does that work better, Kathy? Smaller ball? Yeah. So you could either, or you could make your sponge ball smaller by in deflating it, but then you'd have to inflate it. So this is just to create some safety and stability for creating mobility and stability in the back, along the cervical spine. I read somewhere that if you have, you know, the office neck or text neck where your head is way forward after a day at the computer or gardening or whatever you do that brings your Netflix, whatever brings your head forward, do this on the hour throughout the day. These sponge ball movements for the neck. Because what you want to do is create some mobility along the back of the neck. Okay, that's enough of that. We're going to skip hypopressives and go to windshield wipers on the floor. So this is a pelvic floor reset, lying on the floor, supine, with a narrow brick between the thighs, and then 10 times, let's do 6 times, sideways. So windshield wipers side to side. Try to keep your shoulders and your chest on the floor. The hips move, obviously. The knees move. Press on the brick. And after you've done 6, go ahead and change the spacing of the brick by making it wider and still pressing. And the knees come up toward the face and the heels are near the buttocks. So windshield wiper. Back and forth you go. You might lose it. You might lose your brick, your block. Now put a strap around your thighs. So this time we're going to press out into the strap, do the same movement. So cinch your strap in whatever way you can. And then press out, the thighs press out, and then they move like windshield wipers. And now stop and come into a bridge. So we're going to hold a bridge for 30 seconds, unless that doesn't work for you. So if you need to come down, come down. But 30 seconds, this bridge is a movement that actually builds new bone if you hold it for 30 seconds. Just breathing, and you're pressing out into your straps. And 7 seconds. And come on down. And now take your strap off, and we're going to do another bridge, but this time with the brick between the thighs, the knees, pressing on the brick. Yeah, I think now thin, the skinny direction. Now, let me say that this movement, Dr. Fishman says, is one of the best ways to actually coax a herniated disc back where it belongs. This bridge with a brick squeeze, thigh squeeze. So come on up. We're going to hold it for 30 seconds because it's also a bone builder. Breathing and staying here. If you can't come out early, or you could put a brick under your hips. That's another way to do this to help. You'd have to have a second brick. Maybe a thick one. Come on down. Grab your strap. We're going to do the leg stretch series, timed. Then we're going to work on the QL for a few movements with the therapy balls. So first, the leg comes up toward the ceiling and toes move toward the nose. This is a bone building move. It's a lot of other things too, but it's a nice way to rebuild, restore bone density in the femur and the hip socket. Just breathing. And now just put your straps in, both straps in the same hand, right hand. Take your leg out to the right. Remember that the hips try to stay even on the floor. So you're not bringing the other hip over towards your strap and leg. This is hard. Actually, it's hard to keep your left hip on the floor. And you can pull your toes up towards your nose with your strap. Come on back, switch sides. Leg stretch 1 and 2. This is actually, they're called Supta Pavasana or something like that. So they have an unofficial Sanskrit name. These leg, toes toward nose, breathing. Keep your arms straight. So pull your arms higher up on your strap so the arms are straight, and then pulling down on this, using the strap to pull down on the leg. Nice, very nice. Put your strap in your left, both straps in your left hand. Take your left leg out to the left. Keep both hips on the pelvis and hips on the floor. And breathe. And come on back. Stay there, except grab your therapy balls. They can be either the plus or the alpha in a tote, and you're going to put them horizontally at your waist. So we're going to practice massaging and releasing the QL, which is a muscle on either side of the lumbar spine at the waist, often tight. It grips if you do have lower back fragility. Fragile lower back. So let's see, I want to see where you put yours, Kathy. That's good. So you're going to come up on your elbows and roll a couple inches higher than that and a couple inches lower than that. And just swiping up and down this muscle that is on either side of the spine. And so you don't want to go all the way up to your upper back. That's another set of movements that are wonderful. But so this is just rolling back and forth slowly. If you feel a place that feels like it needs more attention, stay there. Make your movement smaller and just a little up and down smidgen. Now, if your neck hurts, so you don't need to drop your neck back, hopefully you can drop it forward and keep it from hurting. Or you might be able to hold on to your head, the back of your skull with one hand. I don't know, I'm not doing it. I'm just sitting here watching you, so I'm not sure whether that's available or not. Kathy says, no, I don't think so. You'd have to do one arm scooching and one arm holding. So if you have lower back issues, this might give you some relief, this kind of movement. And then just do a couple more swipes. And then find a thick brick. We're going to do a side-lying QL movement. I tried it last night. I'm like, I think you have to lie with your hip on the side of your hip on the brick. Your hip, yeah, not your head, your hip. Wow. And then, so it's even farther down than that. So, and working on it. You're working on it. You're working. Yeah, I know. Okay, good. Now, bring your shoulders down. So you're not on your elbow. You're really on your shoulder. Your yes. Now you might need something under your head. Okay. Now, perfect. Now, with both legs together, lift them up. Nice. And what is going to happen, and you can feel it if you put your hand on your QL or at your waist, is what it's probably, yeah, is that you're going to feel the work on that upper QL. Now I tried this on my elbow and it was too high. So I think it's better to be down low like this. And you can just stay here. We could time this. I didn't time it, but you could, or you could come drop your legs down. So do reps and then come back up and use that muscle on the top of your waist, side of your waist, and then drop and then come up. And if this is hard for you to be on the brick, you can try this without a brick.
Or with a sponge ball.
Oh yeah, try a sponge ball, Kathy. Maybe a sponge ball might be better for some people. More comfortable, maybe. Although you might roll off of it. So remember the ball or the brick. It looks a little, okay. Well, do you like it better?
It's more comfortable.
But it's a little less stable, no? Because it's
a little less stable. But
so in a way, a little less stable means more challenging, by the way. So you're challenging yourself more. The sponge ball is more comfortable, but more challenging. Oh, and for Gloria, much better, she says. Okay, good. So do it one more time here on this side. Up you go, your legs go up. This is, Jill Miller calls this the magician. I'm not sure why exactly.
well,
And then switch to the other side. This is a great move. You could add it to your, if you were doing a side lying practice, you could sneak this in because obviously it's a side lying pose, right? Remember, you could do this without a ball or a brick, or you could do it with a brick or a ball, sponge ball. Straighten your legs and then they come up. And what you should feel is at your waist, the side of your waist. If you put press your fingers in there, you'll find the QL. And when you lift your legs, you're lifting the Q, or you're activating the QL. We need a strong, supple QL on both sides. I think you could do this watching TV. Maybe. And I didn't time it, but you could time it for 30. And go ahead and come up to stand, finish up, and then slowly bring yourself up to standing near a wall. First thing you're going to do, and you probably guessed it, is my new all-time favorite, backbend at the wall. And we're going to time it. We're going to do it twice. And I would suggest you do this every time you pass a wall when you're wanting to move. So stand up tall, a little bit away from the wall with your back to the wall. Bring your arms overhead and palms on the wall, and then press away from the wall with your chest. So open your chest, and I'm going to start timing. I love this movement for a lot of different things. Posture, reversing rounded shoulders, but it also, I think, builds bone density. Well, I know it does. It came out of Fishman's workshop, builds bone density in the thoracic spine, which is where a lot of the compression fractures are most often in the thoracic spine. Go ahead and come out of this, wiggle, stretch, whatever you need to do, shrug your shoulders, and go back up. back bend at the wall. And I'm liking this, and we do the back bend on the floor. I'm liking this better because you can feel the torque or the tension or the loading that you're creating by putting your hands back behind you and pressing the chest out away from the wall. That's a lot more torque and a lot more load than you get, or a different kind of load than you get on a back bend on the floor. Okay, now we're gonna do something else really different that Kathy's never. So, but go ahead and wiggle and be ready to do a spine twist at the wall. So Kathy's gonna stand with her shoulder. So let's see, yes, like that. The inside leg comes forward, straight forward. Actually, why don't you turn around so you're doing the right side first, Kathy? Okay, good. The right leg comes forward, and then the left leg goes back. And the left leg the foot is angled about 30%. Yes, like that. So, and you may need to step a little farther away from the wall. All you're gonna do is take your arms and twist, put your arms in like cactus pose. And twist towards the wall and put your hands on the wall. Hands and arms, actually. One leg forward, one leg back. Now go towards the wall. Yep, all the way around. So you might want to be up closer to the wall. I said farther away, probably closer. And press on the wall. So sit up tall, you're not leaning forward, so maybe even closer to the wall. What happens is your arms help you stay in good posture and they help you rotate. So the hips stay forward, look forward, continue to look forward. It's the thoracic spine and the lumbar that twist. This is a twist at the wall. I hope you feel it. We're timing it. This is a bone building pose. It builds bone at the thoracic spine and probably lumbar too. Spinal, for sure. Come on out of it. Switch to the other side. Left leg forward, right leg back. And bring your arms up and twist. So you may have to adjust yourself because Kathy looks like she's too far away from the wall, or maybe her legs are too far apart. So this has to be comfortable for you, something you can find a twist in. So this side is harder for you, right, Kathy?
Yeah, I feel more awkward for some reason.
Oh. So, okay. So the hips are straight forward. The legs and hips are straight forward. The back leg foot is a little angled. You might want to bring everything a little closer to the wall and see if you, and then rotate and press on the wall. So I'd like to see your elbows on the wall too, Kathy. So how does that work? But then, okay. Okay. So just stay here for a few minutes. See if you drop your elbows, if it helps a little bit, Kathy. Okay. So you should feel this in the spine. And you can stop. How does that feel?
That was a good twist.
It's a reverse triangle at the wall, basically. I really like it. And it's timed, which is a good thing. Let's do push-ups at the wall.
Oh,
Since we're at the wall, just go ahead and put your hands on the wall. So actually, in an ideal world, you would step back from the wall about an arm's width and a little more, and then hip hinge forward first, Kathy. Try to hip hinge forward, and then so at some point you should be longer than that. So make an angle. Your feet are way back, and now push-ups. So the elbows, keep a long line, flat back, long line. So keep your hands on the floor, on the door, and up, back and forth you go. Your elbows can be out to the side, or they can be back towards your hips. So this is push-ups at another level besides the floor is really good way to strengthen the arms. And you could do this on a coffee table. You could do it on a bookshelf, you know, as long as you're everything, the furniture is stable on the back of a couch. But you can also do it at the wall. Finish up. Come down to the floor, to your favorite floor seated position. Actually, instead of your favorite floor seated position, do the stacked knees. What is it called? What do I call it? One knee stacked on top of the other. So start by putting one knee forward, one bent knee forward. It's bent stacked knees. One bent knee is forward with the foot under, and then the other one comes on top and as stacked as you can get them. And then you can put your hands on your feet and press away to create a really tall spine. We're going to use our hands in another way in a minute, but just feel how good that is. Breathing, sitting tall. Bring your hands out in front of you, palms facing each other, right straight out in front of you by your shoulders, and then flip them so they're backward, they're facing out first, and then take one on top of the other, and interlace your fingers. Now bring your arms down and up, and continue to sit. The bottom of the pose is cow-faced legs. And we're doing an alternative to cow-faced arms. Keep your chest open, keep your spine straight. Drop your wrists as far as you can down and stay and breathe. So this is a wrist exercise. Breathe and enjoy. If you can't do this wrist exercise, do another wrist exercise. I recommend Kathy, show them the prayer. Yeah. So first you're in prayer pose, then the one set of fingers goes downward and the other stays up, and then you press your wrist. So this is another movement you could do if you couldn't do the other one, the interlaced finger one. And then go ahead and slowly move yourself to the other side of the hero's pose on the legs. So the other knee is on the top. Stacked knees, stacked bent knees. Before we go into the wrist pose, the wrist movements, go ahead and put your hands on your feet, on the kind of the arch of the foot. It should be a really nice feeling. It's a foot stretch as well as, and then sit tall with an open chest, chin slightly dropped, and breathe. So if you are doing floor sitting, which I hope you are, please remember to find a good posture in floor sitting. This is one way to do it. And now go ahead. So the other side, interlaced fingers. Forward, forward. The hand that was on the bottom is on the top now. Interlacing and then dropping down first and then up. And you can drop your wrists maybe. Kathy does a pretty good job of dropping her wrists. So maybe she has, well, we're all different. We're all different, we're all beautiful. Staying and breathing and sitting tall. Remember that you could do the other wrist stretch if this one isn't available to you or is uncomfortable. Go ahead and finish up that. Keep your legs, keep your bottom leg where it is. Bring your top knee up toward the ceiling so that we're going to do a twist. So let me see how to say this. The top knee, which is your right knee, is up toward the ceiling and the foot is next to the outside of the bottom knee. So you need to move your foot, no, outside of the bottom knee, not the bottom foot. So cross it over, yes, yes. And then hug it with so hug your right knee with your left hand or elbow. Sit tall and bring your right arm behind you. And you can move your your chin to the right behind you as well. Unless you have arthritis, you can look to the other side. Stay here, bone building, and I'm going to start timing. Sit tall, get tall on every inhale. And improve your twist on the exhale. Get tall on every inhale breath and improve your twist on the exhale breath. Come on out of that and switch to the other side. So this time, the left knee is up, the right knee is tucked under, and the left foot is on the outside of the right knee. Hug the right knee with hug the left knee with your right elbow or hand, and then take your left arm to bring yourself to do a twist, rotate behind you. You can look behind you, or you can look to the other side. If you have arthritis, it's probably better to stay looking forward. Listen to your own body. Staying here, breathing, inhaling, getting tall, exhaling, improving the twist. Come on back. And let's find our way onto the floor with a sponge ball. Sponge ball under the prone, sponge ball under the belly, at the belly button. Make sure the little pokey thing on the sponge ball is facing the floor. Okay, so all you're gonna do is, first of all, just stay here and compress. The body weight compresses on the ball. And then you're gonna roll up and down over the ball, using your toes or your elbows or anything you have that helps you move up and down. If you do this at home, in your privacy of your home, skin contact, I haven't said this before, or not often, is contact, skin to ball is actually better for all the therapy wall work. Now side to side. And then go up above. So place the ball above the navel. This time, this is a new location. Oh, I forgot to do that. Contract, relax, but that's okay. We'll do this one. So now stay here for a breath or two. And then up and down over the ball. You have a, okay, listen to your own body, Gloria. Gloria has a hernia repair there, probably right above her navel. This is a very gentle movement. It might be good for your scar tissue there. But if your body says no, please respect it. Side to side now. And you, or go above it. So if you could place your ball above the repair or below it, that might work too. Just a little bit, and someday we'll do the whole series. This was just a little bit of the sponge ball work with the abdominals. Go ahead and remove your sponge ball, and I'm going to do the prone back extension. Just level 1 and 2. You're lying on your belly, arms at your side, palms up. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift. We're going to time it. You're working on building bone in the upper back, thoracic spine. And just stay here and breathe. You can drop your chin a little bit, Kathy, if you can. And you might want to, everyone can try to lift up a little higher on one of the breaths. And we'll be here for 10 more seconds if you can. Come down if you need to. Inhale to prepare to come down, and exhale, come on down. We're going to do airplane now. So we're going to do level 1 and then level 2. Take an inhale to prepare for level 1 and an exhale to come up. And then an inhale to prepare to come to level 2, airplane, and exhale to come up. Now I'm going to time this one. Also, rebuilding bone. So you start to lose bone at 35. I know you guys are all younger than me, or most of you, but it's still of concern. And here we are trying to help you rebuild. 7 more seconds. Inhale to prepare and exhale to return. Bring your arms out into a T, palms down for the thoracic spine stretch. Left, look to the right leg lifts up and goes over the left. Remember, you can move your hips all you want, but just keep the shoulders on the floor. Big breath. You should start to feel a big difference from this movement, which we do almost every week in the upper back. The combination of this plus the back bend at the wall, I think would be amazing. Look left and lift the left leg and take it over behind you, behind the opposite leg. See here. And come on back. And let's finish up with Yoga Nidra. So come on out of this, find your way onto your back, supine, comfortable, maybe a washcloth over your eyes. Ready to hear. So just so you know, repetition is very beneficial in this guided meditation. So the more you hear it, the more your body is responding in positive ways to it. And actually, if you have memorized the pattern, you could say these things silently to yourself and have a yoga nidra practice at home. Go ahead and start to notice your breath and breathing in and breathing out. And then bring your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This concludes your 61-point guided yoga nidra meditation. Go ahead and bring your attention back to the room and your body and extend your legs. Bring your arms overhead. Stretch in both directions. Wiggle and stretch and make ankle circles and wrist circles. Spread your fingers and your toes and hug your right knee into your chest. And then your left. Both knees hugging to the chest. And then rocking back and forth. Releasing the lower back. Roll to the side using your bottom arm as a pillow. Stay here for 10 to 30 seconds. And then use your top hand to bring yourself up to seated. Unmute yourself so we can close the class with namaste. I'm going to cancel the spotlight and I'm going to choose gallery so I can see all of you. Bring your hands into prayer pose. Press them together. See if you can feel some of the work we've done today in the shoulders. Now release that. Lift your occipital ridge, base of your skull up, and then rock and roll it over the top of the cervical spine. C1, C2. Bowing to each other, honoring each other, recognizing the light in each other, knowing that we're all one light. And we're going to close the class by saying to each other, namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.